Hey guys, I am DM Zone. This is Gamers Oasis. Let's get into it. Okay, so we're doing things a little bit different. As you can see here, I've got some stuff behind me a little bit out of whack, and I got a picture of some stuff I'm doing over here. It's 2024. I've had a little bit of a delay. I'll get into that in probably a live stream I'm doing after I get this video out, where I'm going to be doing my vlog 40. The reason why I'm doing that live stream, just so everyone knows, is I'm coming off some FMLA, and I really want my boss to know, if he happens to watch this video, or she, in this case it could be a female watching it, when this actually was done and when it was not done. So I wouldn't be talking about this in that way if it was in the middle of my FMLA. So it's a little bit of the reason for the hiatus, but I'll get into that more in a little bit. Let me just say, to continue to do a lot of changes. I got some more stuff over here, which you can't see. I got a picture of it. I'll put it up there so you can see it in this video. Let's get to the meat of this video. This video is about sunken cost, or the sunken cost fallacy, or bias, or however you want to view that. So what is it? Well, it is when you believe that you've put too much time or effort or energy or resource or money into something to stop. Sometimes I believe this is probably true. Most of the time I think that people get too stuck into this. So pull up a couple websites or whatever, so you can see what I'm talking about here. One is says the sunken cost fallacy is a cognitive bias that makes you feel as if you should continue pouring money, time, effort into a situation you've already sunken so much into already. This perceived sunken cost makes it difficult to walk away from the situation. You don't want to see your resource wasted. I believe that's probably the strongest thing that will lead most of what we're talking about. However, there are slightly other versions of that. When you go to the sunken cost at the Wikipedia, sunken cost redirects here. According to the Wikipedia, it says in economics and in business decision making, a sunken cost is a retrospective cost that is already occurred and cannot be recovered. Sunken costs are contrasted with prospective costs, which are future costs that may be avoided if the action is taken, or continue to be taken. Would be the proper way of wording that, I think. In other words, a sunken cost is a sum paid in the past that is no longer relevant to decisions in the future. Now, this is a perspective thought process I think is worth looking into more, but we'll get into that in a second. Even though economicists argue that sunken cost no longer is relevant to future rational decision making, people every day in life often take the previous expeditious situation, such as repairing a car or a house, into their future decisions regarding these properties. Okay, getting off into the not gaming stuff. So when I go to another place called Investopedia, which is probably a website that one might avoid or go to, depending on what you're trying to do. Sunken costs, which are those which have already occurred and are unrecoverable. So, very important thing. Several sources are referring to you cannot get this back. So, unrecoverable. That seems to be a common theme between these three different sources. A great resource that is unrecoverable once it's spent, and it is limited for everyone, regardless of your social standing, your financial ability, or whatever. To a degree, mind you, there are some exceptions to this, but it is limited. It just, you might have more of it. Is time. We're all restricted by time. You only have so much time on this earth, or off it. Going back to the source of this article here, in business, sunken costs are typically not included in consideration when making future decisions, as they're seen as irrelevant in current and future budgetary concerns. Okay, so again, that's if they're not also prospective costs. So, for example, if you know you have to repair a vehicle and you're going to have to spend more to repair that vehicle, maybe knowing you have to do this 2 or 3 times throughout the thing might make sense to set that money aside for that. The sunken cost is a fallacy. A sunken cost fallacy is a psychological barrier that ties people to the unsuccessful endeavors simply because they've committed resources. What this is saying is that you're unable to change from what you're doing, even though you know it's not successful, to other things because you've already spent so much time on this subject already. So, for example, sunken costs include salary, insurance, rent, non-refundable deposits and repairs, as long as those items are not recoverable. And I had to kind of look around my camera while I'm reading this. Let me go ahead and get more into what this is. As far as gaming goes. Most people that watch my videos are probably avid players of Entropia Universe. If you played Entropia Universe and you have spent ammo, technically you have sunk a certain amount of cost into killing a mob. If you do not kill that mob, you have to choose whether you're going to cut bait and leave, or you're going to hit your right-click your shrapnel to create more ammo so you can continue to shoot that mob. If you don't, then you don't get the money back. If you do, you may get your money back. You may global, you may whatever. Okay. Time is a huge sunken cost. Some people have dedicated hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands and thousands of hours or hundreds of days into this game. They've played it for so long, the thought for many of us, why would I play anything else? I've already got what I've want. I've got the status I want. I've got the guns, the abilities. I do what I want in this game. Why would I ever change? And I think that is a very real answer. Why do people go back and play Project 99 for EverQuest Online, a game that came out literally in 1999? Why would they go back and play that game now versus playing something new and modern? Sunken costs could also be very much seen as, I have a blueprint. Do I want to start this blueprint? Starting this blueprint means I need to do about 27,000 clicks. Is it worth having a new blueprint at QR100 in this particular one that I make myself versus spending extra money for a higher QR? Or do I care at all about my success rate? I just need 3 and move on. We were talking about the cores from Next Island, and some people didn't even really know where it came from because they just bought them off of the auction, the market, or they buy them out of people's stores or homes or person to person. That is a thing that in this game, I think a lot of people have to weigh. So I'm shifting my position on some of this stuff because I feel like it's worth it. You know, I bought some not QR1 blueprints because I kind of agree. It's nice to be able to say I started this blueprint and into this blueprint, but outside of my ego, what does that actually matter? Having it 100 is what matters. In the end, that's all that really matters. If it's a blueprint you plan to do that much of. But there's a lot of facets into it. So when you're a newer player especially, and you're trying to save a resource so that you can then sell it for a higher markup, you have 4 stacks that are worth 3 ped each. That's 12 ped worth of stuff. you will not get probably 10% on that 12 ped because it's so little. You really need 12 ped of one thing. So the question is, do you disregard the other 3 so you can get the 1 to 12 ped? Is that feasible? Is that logical? Is that something people want? All these things are going to be the sunken cost thing. Can you afford to get all 4 of those to 12 ped before you run out and you have to figure out something? A lot of us find ourselves having to make these decisions and never actually know what the decisions are we're making. And I don't know if there's any video out there really talking about that, shall we say. Anyways, I'm going to come up with a few more ideas and we'll go from there. Okay, so when you look at something for the sunken costs, I spent 53 ped on 5 Christmas boxes and the keys to go with it. Anyone looking at it would be like, I don't know if that's a good investment. I mean, what are you going to get? In this case, I got 2 garlands. I got a pill, which is actually really nice by all appearances. And then I got ammo and some candy canes, which were pretty cool. So the question is, was that worth it? Was that worth it? I got 47.7 ped in ammo back. But again, you're going to spend ammo on doing things. Is that worth it? Is it worth what you're doing to get that back? And the answer is, if you have the drops if you have the Christmas boxes, you can sell the Christmas boxes, or you can put more money and chase that potential loss by trying to get something good. This is kind of the aspect of things that people talk about with this being a casino now, or a slot machine. I'm not going to go into this one here. Oh, no. I'm going to save that one for a later one. This video is getting long enough as it is. What I will say is that in vlog number 40, which I plan to be doing here in my next days off, I'm going to be doing that one live. I'm going to be introducing that into the live stream thing. So eventually it will come over, it's going to be done live on Twitch, which is where I'm currently doing these things. And then I will convert it into a video, do some editing, and then put it out on YouTube. But if you want to watch it live, my next 4 days off, so I work 4 days and I have 4 days off. As long as I don't get called in, I plan to go ahead and release a video at that point in time. And I'll be talking about vlog 40 stuff live. Now, I am about a month behind. I talked a little bit about the coming off FMLA. Essentially, so I can just sort of contain this all in one video. This is a different day, obviously. I've had a little more time to think about it. My wife ended up having a surgery. She had some minor complications. Everything is going fine. It's going wonderful. But instead of being off on the 14th, which meant I would have had all Christmas to get vlog 40 done and then working 41 at this point in time for January, it turns out all that time was spent on FMLA, and I did not make videos during that period of time. So that is what it is, and we will go from there. I appreciate any concern you might have, and if you believe in anything, we appreciate your prayers. So, but anyways, I will talk more about this in the future when I talk about casino. I'm going to be referencing this portion of not this portion of the video, but the earlier portion of this video more in future videos to come. So, thank you guys. Hope you guys enjoy it and have a great day. Keep earning that pet. Bye.